On July 12, 1949, Standard Airlines Flight 897R was traveling from New York City to Los Angeles when it went missing upon its descent into the Burbank airport. Another aircraft spotted the burning wreckage on this rocky hillside. 35 of the 48 passengers and crew members perished here. The 13 people who survived were aided in their rescue by barefoot, bearded men wearing long white flowing robes. One of the survivors was actress Caren Marsh. She was a stand-in for Judy Garland in the classic film The Wizard of Oz. This is the story of the 1949 Chatsworth, California plane crash. Chatsworth is located in the far northwest corner of the San Fernando Valley. In 1949, the picturesque area was so remote that it doubled as the Old West in hundreds of movies and television series. Flight 897R took place on a Curtiss C-46E Commando. It was a converted World War II cargo plane that required extensive maintenance and had a history of unexplained airborne explosions. Despite the dubious reputation, mechanical malfunction was not the cause of the crash on the morning of July 12, 1949. Flight 897R was contacted by Burbank Airport Control and cleared to make a straight-in approach at 7:36 a.m. The pilot confirmed, but did not give his altitude. 7 minutes later, the aircraft struck the side of a mountain. After initial contact, it hit a large boulder. It skidded upwards, making a 90-degree clockwise turn, and came to rest 360 feet from the initial impact point. When Flight 897 failed to arrive at Burbank, the control tower advised the flight behind it to hold its approach and search for the missing aircraft. It sighted the burning wreckage 3 miles west of Chatsworth at 8 a.m. Fire personnel from the nearby Ventura County Box Canyon station arrived on the scene shortly thereafter. They were joined by a self-styled messiah named Krishna Venta and another disciple from his nearby Fountain of the World religious commune. The barefoot bearded men in long robes joined in the rescue effort and gained national media exposure. Actress Caren Marsh was one of the survivors of the plane crash. Her left foot was badly mangled. It was the same left foot that clicked the ruby slippers together as Judy Garland's stand-in in the classic film The Wizard of Oz. Caren later recalled being surrounded by the white-robed figures in what she described as an ethereal scene. She wondered if they were angels. She wondered if she had died. But she survived. She lived to act again and dance again. And this year, on April 6th, she celebrated her 106th birthday. The question of why did Flight 897R crash remains. The pilot had over 6,000 flight hours, 140 of them on the C-46 aircraft, and he had made over 100 other instrument landings at the Burbank airport. The first thing that stood out to me when I visited the crash site is the fact that the plane appeared to be flying away from Burbank. This can be explained in the Accident Investigation Report. The plane was taking what is called a procedure turn. It was a regular part of the route and the standard landing procedure. The craft flew past Burbank and was going towards Chatsworth to make a 180-degree turn before it made its descent. The standard procedure turn in Chatsworth started here at this mountainside, which is 2,300 feet above sea level. This is how it appears on most days. At 7:30 in the morning on July 12, 1949, there was an overcast layer that covered the mountain up to 2,400 feet, and this is how the hillside appeared. The pilot had been advised by the control tower to fly 500 feet above the overcast, but for an unknown reason, he was 1,000 feet lower when the aircraft hit the hillside at a point 430 feet below the crest. There's usually never one causal factor in a plane crash. After Flight 897R refueled in Albuquerque, it encountered extreme turbulence. Was pilot fatigue involved? Also, an hour before the flight was scheduled to land, there was an altercation between two passengers where a punch was thrown. The stewardess broke up the fight, and the pilot notified the Burbank airport and requested that police meet the plane when it landed. The altimeter found in the wreckage recorded the crash site at 1,940 feet, 1,000 feet below where the aircraft was supposed to be, well below the crest of the mountain peak. Did both the pilot and the co-pilot stop looking at the altimeter? Did both pilots lose situational awareness? We will never know. These are the unanswered questions of the Flight 897R plane crash. There's no marker or memorial for the passengers who perished on Flight 897R in Chatsworth on July 12, 1949. A paved road leads past the site. The only remnants of the tragedy are the gasoline burns that are still visible on the spot where the nose of the plane came to rest.